This video will be a bit more unprofessional compared to the last two videos. To start, I was able to have a phone call with Unc and we talked about everything that was going on and answered any questions that people had. Unc thinks that I am stiffing him on releasing this video, which I am not. I've just got a real life and I've been dealing with real life problems. I don't document my life on the internet either like Unc does. We have a lot to go over, especially with stuff with his car, his knowledge that his fans are minors and posting what he's posting, his sobriety, a couple random things, and something even more crazy that I'm going to talk about at the end that you may have already seen if you're an avid Unc follower. This is the footage of me talking to Unc, and I gotta say, I think Unc is a pretty cool guy. I think he's an enjoyable guy to talk to. He has a few screws loose, but we all do, am I right? That's for you guys to decide and not for me. So, let's play it. Personally, I went mainly your side of the Luke and Yarson story. You know, I saw your comment on my video, and I was kind of like, all right, you know, maybe there's more to this than they're letting on. I know there are some things that I did leave out, just, you know, to kind of save face for you. Primarily like the call stuff. You know, I figured like you know, that's shitty on their part. Like they owned up to it, and I didn't use that footage. I was like, yeah, that's just, you know, really shitty. Yeah. Like
they actually told you some of the story, and they're the ones that called the apartments and all that.
They said that it was someone who went by the name John Pork, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I remember John Pork.
Yeah, as well as they gave me that story. I kept his name out, and I referred to him as Red Spikes. That was what that little thing was on.
So what all am I answering questions, or what are we doing? I've never been interviewed before.
You're all again, Dan. So yeah, let's just get your side of, you know, the Luke and Yarson thing, you know. So
that thing, that's how the story. Okay,
yeah.
It happened back. It was right after the rankings when I blew up on the rankings, and I made a lot of money. So I bought a PlayStation, and I started playing with my fans, and I would go live and pick random people out of the live that was in the live. I wasn't just picking. I don't know how old they were. I never knew how old they were, and just would let them join. Eventually, it got to the point like, because I didn't know how to set it up. Fucking hundreds of thousands of people were like joining my party, and then maybe one time, because that's when I started drinking a little bit, Twisted Teas, and that night, whenever I guess that laughing or whatever, I tripped out, because like when I was hanging out with friends, I'd walk into a room and they were laughing, and I was like, what was so funny? And I would later find out that they were talking shit about me. So that's what I got the impression was going on.
Yeah.
That time. And so, yeah,
like
I flipped out. I got off a live. I mean, I wasn't on live. I was I got out of their Fortnite party, and then only to find out eventually, like I still didn't know what the fuck was going on. It took a couple weeks, and then I wasn't able to go live. I got kicked off a live, thank God, on TikTok Live for something. I'm always getting violated over there for something. And I was on Twitch, and then people joined the chat and started making they started leaking my address and shit.
Right.
And all. And then I found out that because they said something I forgot, I don't know, and then I knew exactly who it was them. And then John Pork told me the whole situation, that they were laughing at me. They had a screen. They took a screenshot of the fish skin of Fortnite, and they said after his dude, I got 400,000 followers. You know, I'm trying to save a lot of people's lives. I can't sit there and
quite a bit of people to
give them my attention 24/7. Like I was getting blown up a lot at that time because I had the rankings that were going crazy, and I was getting blown up by a lot of people. I can't just play Fortnite with the same people all the time. I kept telling them that, and I'm sorry they felt some type of way about that and all that. And that became a mess, and I just said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this. I'd rather not have to deal with it, and I sold the PlayStation for $200 to a family who actually needed it after they did all that bullshit. But they kept trying to get me kicked out. They had the cops show up there. The cops were there at one point, and it was just a mess all around. And I said, yeah, I don't have to deal with this. This was right at my birthday, too, 2 days before my birthday when all that happened, 2 years ago, I think, almost 2 years ago. And then... yeah, this happened in October because I got the PlayStation, I think, the end of September of last year. It was right after the rankings blew up on TikTok. It was July. I remember the first ranking I posted was July, and it went till about August, September, and then that's when I got the PlayStation. Because like on TikTok, I blow up like every 6 months, it seems like.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like, I'll
on
do
TikTok,
6 months,
you're like,
fall off.
a little bit bigger on TikTok than you are on Instagram. I don't use TikTok like that, so like I purely discovered you through Instagram. You know, I'll be the first to admit. So I haven't been here for all that long, maybe since like December.
Yeah, and then I seen videos of where you were trying to find where I donated. I don't know if you've seen that video. There is a video on TikTok. It's where I said, well, I can't buy a house, so I'm going to spend money. If you watch that whole video, at the end I said I'm giving away money if you put your Cash App. That's the video I was talking about, where I gave a lot of people, they were putting their Cash Apps, and I just picked random people and was giving them money. And sometimes I would go live, but they don't allow you to give away money on live on TikTok, so I'd get shut down there too.
I was gonna say Instagram. I remember seeing you around like 40,000 or so on Insta, and I was like, oh wow, you know, it's that Unk guy. You know? I can't wait to see what he's posting. I check back every once in a while.
Yeah, I didn't expect me to blow up that big on Instagram at all. I thought it was a joke. I thought they were joking. I didn't realize it would be that big.
So I decided to ask more so everyone else to pitch in some questions that they had, just because I figured that, you know, I'm simply just the one putting everything together and saying, all right, you know, here's what people are saying, and that's it, you know. So I figured, you know, I'll let them ask questions. This first one, it's the first question that was asked too, and I think it's, you know, it is like rebuilding trust with your fan base. So I think it is, you know, a pretty important one. Someone asked, would you willingly record yourself once daily as like a journal log for your sobriety?
Yeah, I would do that. What, someone wants me to do that?
Yeah, someone said, you know, like, you know how people keep like journals about like how their sobriety's going or their road to recovery, stuff like that.
So what do I record from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed?
No, it's more so just like, you know, do like a daily like check-in, I'd imagine. You know, it's like keeping like a diary kind of thing, you know.
Oh, so don't post it, just keep it to myself type stuff? Yeah, you could ask them, because I would do that. I'm trying to figure out how to do day in the lives, but they never blow up.
They don't blow up, but, you know, it's there so that the fans know, you know. That way, you know, like you say, the true fans will know the truth, and, you know, I feel like keeping something like that consistently, you know, definitely is more of a, you know, keeping the truth up thing.
I would do that. That's actually a good idea. I never thought of something like that.
Yeah. Someone asked, can we have proof of you donating thousands to fans? So, I mean,
I could go through my Cash App and see, like, but I'd have to scroll down. I could try.
If that's possible. Yeah.
I don't know,
if
dude.
anything,
I might be over, because I do over exaggerate. I over exaggerate. I don't think it was thousands. It was up there of about $1,000 probably. It probably wasn't thousands, but I know it was about 1,000. Like, I over exaggerate sometimes. I do. But yes, I do. I'll go through my wife's Cash App and my own Cash App and go through and see where I sent money to people.
You already asked this one technically, but I'll still, you know, put it out there. So let's say, when you had a PlayStation 5, why did you exclusively play with children? Why not either play solos or with someone your own age? Like you already said, you know, you were playing with fans, and I don't.
Yeah, I was live. It was only when I was live. It's not like I just picked. Like, I don't know these people. I eventually, it was open, and then until like Luke or someone, I think it was John Pork. They taught me how to put it private, because we were trying to play, because you can only play with 4 people, and then I didn't know their ages, dude. That's just, I guess that was my fan base, you know. Trust me, I wasn't intentionally playing with little kids. I don't even know how to tell how old someone is through their voice. I mean, you could kind of a little bit. I didn't even know. Like, Luke and them was like, dude, that dude's like 6 years. I didn't know that. I was just trying to play with my fan.
Someone said, why would you purposely make sexual content with your fan base being like majority minors? And I think
what do they mean by that?
So, you know how you and Kay do or Uncat, I don't know what you would like me to call her. But you and your
Kay, yeah, she likes Beauty or Kay.
So, you know how you and Kay do like the videos every once in a while where it's like you walk in and it's her, like, you know, in a doggy position on the couch or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's about like,
bro, it's just, dude, all it is just jokes, bro.
Yeah.
People read into it too much. It's joke. Like, when I'm bent over, like I'm getting pegged or whatever. Is that what you mean?
No, actually, more so like when both of you guys are. Like, there's this one video.
We'll stop that. Yes, I know. Trust me. I found out when someone asked, like, I'm gonna stop doing shit like that. Yes, I didn't realize till someone brought it up before. Yes, they probably shouldn't have done shit like that. But it was all jokes, dude. It was all jokes. That's all it is. And it was not intent to entice someone or groom someone or whatever they're thinking.
Yeah. As I've said before, dude, I've never, believed that you're any kind of like kid deal or anything like that. I'm just going based off what people say, you know.
Yeah, that stuff happened to me as kids multiple times growing up. I've been molested multiple times as a kid, and that's just a no. I would never do
Yeah.
that ever, dude.
So when I asked, why would you let your arguments or disagreements with Kay play out on live stream so much, and is she okay with it?
She was not okay with it, no.
Yeah.
And I was tweaking out. That's why I thought my life was going to end. That's why I was tweaking on that shit, and I thought my life was going to end. So I said, bro, if someone's coming after me, fucking let's run it live. That's the only. I felt safe.
Yeah.
I felt safe. That's the only reason why I went live. I shouldn't have put my shit on there. Trust me, I regret it now because I didn't realize how many people were actually screen recording.
Yeah.
And until your documentary came out, and half of the shit I don't even remember saying.
Hey, as long as you're honest, because I'm not gonna lie, like throughout that whole live, you're saying like, "Oh, I'm completely sober right now." It's like, all right, man, I want to believe you, but at the same time, like this is a little like fucking hectic. So.
No, I've been completely sober. And then when I was clean, look, I'll tell you exactly when I relapsed. It was the end of April, and it was probably the end of April because I got bored, I got complacent. And it lasted because then I saw my PO the beginning of May. I quit for a week. Then I went back out there for a whole month, almost a whole month, and then quit for 30 days or whatever. When I was actually clean then. I relapsed that one day back, 25 days ago.
Yeah, it was the 16th of June.
That's what happened. I never used people's money. I bought a couple teas, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did do that. But I've never used their money for drugs, ever. I bought everything that, like the tires. I had to buy 2 rims.
Yeah.
I had to buy 2 separate tires. That's all true.
Yeah.
That's all true. I've put that on the damn Bible. That's all true. I never spent people's money on drugs ever. I was able to borrow because I made so much money off of Cameo. Cash App started letting me borrow from them. And that's how I did. That's how I did it. I never took their money specifically.
Yeah. Do you agree that being high does not justify your action?
No, it does not. It does not. No, it doesn't justify. It does not justify how I treated Kay. No, it does not. But I wasn't trying to justify it. I was trying to say that's not who I truly am when I'm like that. Because, like, you can't tell me nothing. You can even ask my wife. You can't tell me nothing when I'm under the influence of that. Like, I just believe what I believe, what's ever going on in my mind at that time. I was just tweaking the fuck out.
Next one is kind of a long one. It says, even if you say you don't fully remember the events of the live that happened, especially the ones when you relapsed, don't you think it's important to take accountability for your actions?
Yes.
And
I am. I take full responsibility for what I did. I know I fucked up. Yes, I do. I take full responsibility for what I did and said, well, it was wrong. Yes, it was wrong. But does that make me like a bad person? Maybe to some people. Maybe. Was it right? No. Should I done it live? No. I just was in my head tweaking.
And then the next question in that same one was especially for how you treated your wife, since the emotional damage is still real for her. I don't know, like, yours and Kay's personal relationship. I'm not really in that much to really care about what you said, that she's also recovered or has used in the past as well. So I don't know if she was strung out that night as well or what it might have been, but
no, she wasn't. I just made up some shit because I thought people were trying to make me look bad, and she don't do nothing. She don't do a damn thing. She's been clean ever since we moved here 3 years ago. Yeah, she's completely clean.
That's good. That's awesome. That is actually great to hear. And then they said, adding to
I
that,
that one night when she's like, she'll drink every now and then, but that's like, you'll be lucky to get her to even take a sip of alcohol.
I'm all for that, man. If you barely remember things that you've said you did when you relapsed, how do you know you're not actually like that? Especially when the damage you've caused hurt the people around you was public and recorded. So
because I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
and you could see me. Trust me, Kay, she wouldn't be with me if that's how I truly was. Yeah, she wouldn't. You think she'd stick around for that long? And if that was really that person, like, who would want? I wouldn't even want to be around that person.
That's a completely fair response. Someone said, why do you feel the need to post about your and Kay's private business when a lot of it isn't appropriate for your fans? I was gonna say, let me give a little context for this one for you. I don't know if you might remember this, but there was a part of one of your streams. I believe we have a recording of it. I don't actually know. You know that your fans are majoritively like minors and such like that. You kind of try to gear it towards that. That's why I use like the ranking things for like the Roblox filters.
I say it's because the younger generation is going to be the backbone of this country and the world eventually. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't get people like that to watch your videos, you won't be able to make it on social media.
Right.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's fair.
I,
Yeah, I feel like you already kind of answered the main question in this. It's all just jokes, you don't really intend it in any really
yeah, I've
malicious
never
way.
played
So
Roblox. I've never all those rankings and the cooking with lunks. I just thought it was funny. It would get people to watch it. That's it.
yeah,
Because you got to be different. You can't just be like follow the crowd what everybody else does. You got to do
yeah.
things different if you want to make it on social media. That's true.
How do you feel when you're sober and see the comments that have been left? For example, the ones encouraging the drug paranoia, the ones encouraging you to and the ones encouraging you to harm yourself. My bad.
What? There's comments like that told me to harm myself and stuff.
This one's like a genuine what the fuck moment, because like you always talk about getting comments like that or DMs like that. So now that you're saying that you don't get it, what? I personally have not seen these, but in passing, you've mentioned them, and in passing, other people have mentioned them.
Yeah, I would never harm myself. I don't ignore. I learned to ignore it. When I was fucked off, yeah, I got carried away with all the hate, and that's all I was worried about was the hate. But I don't even pay attention to that shit no more. Like you'll see now, if you scroll through it, I won't even respond to people no more. I only recently turned my DMs back on. They were off.
I remember you mentioning that on the stream that one night. So
yeah, I did turn them off for a while because I had to get my head right. And after that last relapse, it did trigger something because like people, like when I was live, they thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious that I was literally suffering. And people don't understand in a psychosis, it's not real in the sense of reality, but it's really real in someone's mind. And people thought it was hilarious. So I said, okay, well, they think this shit's funny. I'll get better and watch. I'll prove everyone wrong.
Someone said, how much money have you made online, and how did you get into meth in the first place?
How much money have I made? I tried to pull it up yesterday.
Yeah.
I made zero off of Instagram. I just saw Cameo. I made $6,000 off of Cameo. I made 16,000 off of TikTok. Probably 17 now. It's probably 17 now.
The other question was, how did you first get into using in the first place?
Using
yeah.
Oh, I was been an addict my whole life. Got it from my mom's genetics.
In the your life story part as well. So I think you did say that.
Yeah, I started in smoking it when I was 12, and then my parents put me in a Marchman Act, which is forced into rehab, and if you don't do it, you got to go in jail over and over. And then I got clean for them, not myself, and that's when I met Kay. We moved to Texas, and that's when I started taking pills, and it went down a hill. And then whenever we lost our kids, it really went crazy, and then here we are here. I thought I would never relapse, but I did.
It happens. I'm not a religious person, but I'll speak out of it. For the betterment of yourself. I think it's God's tests in a way. It's to get better, you have to struggle. So the next question is from Yarson. I'm gonna put this out there, that way you can elaborate further, because he also mentioned
I wish that motherfucker would message me.
But he said, why were you saying weird and questionable sexual things to minors on Fortnite?
I never did that, bro. I never did that ever, bro. What is he talking about? What is he referring to?
So he said when I interviewed him, he said that you used to tell him like how when you were a child you were molested and such like that.
I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I never said anything appropriate to anybody on Fortnite ever.
So the next question is, why would you record your wife crying as opposed to actually comforting her?
When?
The one night when the K was, or you guys were joking, in your words, you guys were joking about you fucking K's sister or something like that.
No, she told me to record her. You're talking about whenever she said I fucked her sister?
Yeah.
You're talking about she told me to do that. It was all jokes. Yeah, dude, it was all jokes, bro. She was drinking, and I was trying to pull up a rap song, and the rap beat looked like her sister a little bit, and she's like, you fucked her and all kinds of shit. Yeah, it was all jokes. It was all jokes.
Was it kind of like just like drunken jokes, or it was just like
yes, it was drunken jokes.
It started as a joke and got kind of like real afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't her really crying. She'll even tell you that. We even told what's it called that dude before I blocked him, Braden or whatever his name is. I don't know. Yeah, dude, he's the one that brought it up. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because I didn't watch the whole first documentary. And yeah, dude, it was all jokes. Like, I'm not even her type. I'm not even her type at all. Her sister's type.
I'm glad that one's out of the way because that's a video that's still like, man, what the hell, you know? So the next question is, do you or Uncle Ed have any kind of contact with your kids, and whether it's through like social workers or like any other, channels?
Unfortunately, no. They the one that took our youngest one wanted us to. Yes, they wanted us to, but they shut it down. They won't allow us. They said we did everything we could to get our kids back. Went to parenting classes, did everything. Stayed clean the whole year, everything, and just for them to put a paper in front of our face after a year saying either sign your rights over or you'll never. Every time you have a kid, we'll take your kid from you. And we were young and dumb. We didn't know nothing about law, or else we would have hired a lawyer. If it would have happened now, things would be a lot different. We would have our kids right now. We didn't do nothing wrong. We didn't even get to see X-rays. We didn't get to see nothing. So we think it was lying because when we took our son Ozzy
This
to the
happened
hospital,
in Texas, right?
yes, this happened
Okay.
in Texas.
Just because I'm
We
thinking about
found
their
it,
laws, so I know.
people are we're gonna make this weird, but it looked like a bug bite. It looked like a big red bug bite, and he was only a month old, so we rushed him to the hospital, and they gave him an X-ray. And the doctor there said his femur was broke, and they said that could have been from birth. That's all we heard. They care flighted him to Dallas. Didn't hear nothing else. After that, they called CPS, came, picked up Heavenly, kicked Kay out the hospital. They didn't give us no more contacts. We didn't get to see X-rays. We didn't get to see nothing.
So it was kind of like a guilty before proven innocent kind of thing.
Yes, it was. Yes, they didn't get
Gotcha.
they didn't get us to do nothing. And that's how they ran things. And we know it's all lies now. We know for a fact it's lies, but that's another reason why I'm trying to make it big on here is to find them, to save a lot of people's lives and find my kids. Because believe it or not, we loved our kids. We did everything for our kids.
Someone asked, you have gotten a lot of money out of TikTok, and I'm assuming this is over the last like 3 years, you said, or 2 years.
No, I didn't make shit for 2 years. I only started making money when I blew up in the rankings. And rankings fell off. Cooking Willow fell off, and I only started. I've only made. I don't make nothing really anymore. I made 200 last month, but that's it. I don't make money that much no more. I'm not there to make money. I'm there to help people, really.
And in my opinion, that's how it should be, man.
Yes, I make nothing off Instagram, and I'm on live on Instagram more than TikTok because I don't. I'd rather be over there.
Instagram, you can get away with a lot more on Instagram than TikTok. So
yeah, I figured that. You see the comments in my live.
So the latter half was, so where did the money go and why are you begging for more? I feel like,
I don't beg. It's telling people to watch my videos. They're getting it wrong. If they actually listen to the video, it's watch the video. I'm not telling people to help me out.
I'm guessing the money just goes to like bills and such like that, or
yes. Now I could finally save a lot more money. But when I lived over there at the other apartment, it was $1,200 a month just for the rent, not including electricity and all that, water and all that. I only make $1,700 a month.
So this next question, I mean, I feel like you kind of answered this one, but I'll still ask it just for the sake of it. Do you believe that verbally or emotionally abusing your wife multiple times on live streams means that you're a good person, drugs or no drugs included? If you think drugs are the problem, why do you just keep using the same drugs that make you treat your wife like shit?
They don't understand addiction. Addiction's hard. But no, that's not right to do that. No, I should have done it, but it was the drugs that controlled me.
Yeah.
For the longest.
I don't know. To me, it's a little like self-explanatory. Like, when you have an addiction, you're after that one thing all the time. Yeah, it's the same thing. Someone said, if it's not drugs, what are you using all of the money that you beg for on? And if it's not nefarious, why haven't you publicly shown evidence of what you use money for? Like you just said, it's for bills, but
are these kids asking? Do they not pay bills?
Dude, let me check. 'Cause we have two things. So. No, this person is of age. Yeah, we have a system where you have to like share your ID to prove.
Oh,
that
you do?
You're a certain age. Yeah, we're pretty just for it's like the content of the server, so it's mostly like lol content. So we're pretty.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's expensive, man. I had to buy we bought new beds. We were trying to start over new. We had just moved.
Yeah.
So when you start over fresh from like bringing nothing, we didn't have nothing. We were sleeping on the floor when we first moved there.
Someone said, Why didn't the rehab accept you, and why are you refusing to go to
The
rehab?
rehab, I'll tell you exactly why they didn't accept me. I called them, and they don't take my insurance. They didn't
Right.
take my well, they took my insurance, and they were trying to get me to go to Dallas, and I didn't have a way to Dallas.
I was gonna say, I don't know
Should
if
have
you're
I
like.
went? Probably yes,
There,
but
there, there was a live stream when you said that you don't have life insurance because that puts a target on your. I thought that was the funniest fucking thing in the world,
I
dude.
did say
That was
that, didn't
so
I?
fucking funny to me. I can't lie,
But
but.
it's true. I would never get life insurance. Hell no, man. You never know. I watched a lot of ID growing up, man. You never
Yeah.
know.
And then the other part was why are you refusing to get a job?
Get a job. I can't get a job.
Is
I'll do
it?
under the table work. I have done under the table work. I make almost $1,800 a month without nothing, without TikTok, without any of that.
I remember too when you said your dad was a fucking E9 or a chief in the Air Force. I was like, holy shit, dude. You know.
Yeah, he
So this,
was. He
you know,
was. And
if everything went right, this dude's set up for life. You know. So that's.
well, my mom is my real mom is. She makes
Yeah.
$8,000-9,000 off of him right now a
Oh
month.
shit.
But I just now started getting it because I was adopted, and they were trying to find me ever
Yeah.
since then, and they knew where I was at because I was getting it, and I guess it was God intervention because like if I would have gotten that money when I was fucked off, I probably would not be here right now.
I do want to ask just for my own curiosity's sake, like how is your mom? You know, is your mom like better off now than you know how you last described her in the life story thing? Your biological mom.
She's just miserable, really. I
Yeah.
try and talk to her, but she's always trying to compare herself to me and all that. She gave me up for a reason. And yeah, she don't do nothing. She's not gonna be here probably within the next 5-10 years because she's on oxygen 24/7.
Yeah.
She can barely breathe. You could probably give her a shout if you want to talk to her, but
I was gonna say too, because you mentioned she's Belgian. So like, did you grow up like learning Dutch or French at all? Or
French. Yeah, I didn't know French when I first met my dad. I was speaking French,
right?
but I forgot all about it quick. I was only 3 years old,
Yeah. Which
so.
so someone wants to know, did you call them at all? Because if I called,
No, when I posted that video, I had a dude from Oklahoma hit me up that owned, his friend owned the animal shelter. They were
yeah,
ready to come down here, pick up all the dogs and everything. But I guess because we go to this coffee shop here, and they wanted to help dogs, and they contacted the animal shelter, and I guess someone worked for Humane Society, and they shut us down. They said we can't be helping these dogs, even though the person that owned that had cancer and went and had surgery said we could help get rid of some of the dogs. They shut it down. I guess they weren't trying to make their town look bad. I don't know if I still have the messages, but the guy said they were on their way. They were ready to pick up all the animals and help them, and they shut us down though. They shut us down. The police, because the police department here owns the animal shelter here.
so someone said I'm not sure if it's been asked before, but has he had a job? Have you ever had a job?
Have I
Or
ever had a job? I've never had a
yeah,
real job, but I have had like under the table, like where I've painted houses.
yeah,
I've cleaned out mansions. I've
just like
done
odd
stuff
job
like
kind of
that. Yes.
things. Gotcha.
Yes.
Why do you have such an obsession with African American people? Why do you want to be one?
Me? Do I seem like I'm obsessed with that? What? What?
Why did you swear not to be high during the stream when you were checking your smoke alarms for cameras and argued with your partner? Now your sober date has changed starting on the date of the stream.
What check alarm? Oh, was that last time I relapsed?
Yeah, when you started
Yeah, that
like
was the
ripping the
last.
smoke
Yeah,
alarm
I
and
was
shit.
trying to keep it on the wraps, but then I eventually came out with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was. When I checked my alarm, I did. I ripped that bitch out too.
yeah.
But it didn't break, so thank God. But yeah, I was trying to keep because I was trying not to tell my wife then. Yes, me and my wife are together right now. Yes. Did I record her crotch? No, that never happened. I don't know. She don't even remember saying that. I never recorded her crotch. I don't even know why she said that.
That video just it surfaced and I was like, holy shit, this is
Yeah, I
really,
never
you know,
recorded her
harsh.
crotch. She'll even tell you that, dude. I never beat her. Did I verbally abuse her? Yes, I will admit that. I docked her wrong. Yes, I did. But that's not who I am. Does it justify it? No, it don't. When I do that shit, I think she's cheating on me. That's what that thing was, and I won't let it live up in my mind. You know, that's what goes wrong, and then I fucking get all fucked off.
It just you know the paranoia sets in about like everything could go wrong kind of thing.
Yes, I think of the worst outcome.
So I mean that's pretty much all the questions that you know everybody has. That's pretty much all that I have, you know. I mean, unless there's like other things, you know, you want to like set straight. Um,
Yeah, if you come up with more questions, just shoot me
yeah,
a message or whatever. As long as we hopefully can put this behind us and hopefully start changing lives, because you say you want to help
yeah,
thousands of
dude.
people too that have recovery problems. That's what my goal is, to make a foundation of my sister who died from fentanyl, and I want to help people. So too, I want to do the same thing you're trying to do.
Like I said, dude, you know, all I want the videos to be is like, you know, like look back and be like, oh man, I really fucked up, you know, like
Yeah,
what can I
and my
do, kind
wife
of thing,
used
you
to
know.
record me like
So
that, and but I would delete them. I wouldn't watch them. We would delete them. She was trying to get me to watch them, but I can't run from that. I can't run from that. So, and I'm glad it's up there, because dude, people could sit there and assume they all they gotta do is watch that documentary, dude, and then come back to the live or whatever, and you could tell a difference. I don't know if you could tell a difference yet, because it takes a little bit.
for starters, Unk never uploaded the day in the life video that we were talking about. He uploaded, actually I lied, he uploaded one, and it wasn't even the way that it was supposed to be done. Instead, it was just some AI voiceover making fun of, you know, satirizing what he was doing through the day, instead of making anything serious at all. He never has mentioned the Cash App thing again, and never actually went through the records. He didn't actually stop sexualizing himself or his wife, and he doesn't pay much attention to the hate, which is a big lie. I mean, look at this video that's up right now. Something so funny to me is that for weeks when I first started watching Unk's videos intently, he used to talk about that there was no big Unk fall off. Now all of a sudden he's admitting that there was, which is interesting to me. I think another thing interesting to me is that views don't account for his followers, nor do his likes at all. He reaches only about 2,000 likes a video and maybe a good, at most 50,000 views, you know, a good average of 40, 50, I'd say. And some of the higher end ones maybe hit 100 or 200,000. Maybe he's view buying, maybe he's not. There's some speculation behind that, and I will not personally say my opinion here, but I wouldn't be surprised. So as you saw in the interview, Unk says that he'll get clean and stay clean, and updating us along the way. He uploaded one video, took it down, and now he only logs his cigarette videos, which he hasn't in a minute. He went from saying that, oh, I'm not on this drug or that drug, and, you know, he was gonna tell us all about it and upload these videos saying, you know, documenting his sobriety along the way, but he only uploaded his cigarette sobriety videos for, what, 40 days or something like that before he stopped, and now people are kind of wondering where all that went. He's not updating us on that. Another crazy thing is I told Unk personally not to take Zins. I don't know if you know how Zins works, dear viewer, but Zins work the way they work. You put them in your mouth, they cut open your gums, and they release nicotine directly into your bloodstream. That is the way Zins work. They're even worse for you than cigarettes. And he thinks that cutting out cigarettes and introducing Zins to his body will all of a sudden magically make him sober off cigarettes. That doesn't make any sense to me. After he started using Zins, he got extremely sick and went to the hospital, asking people to pay for it. It's crazy to me because he was claiming that his insurance was canceled after in the video I called him out, in the interview I called him out on saying that, hey, Unk, you know, you said that life insurance or health insurance is some kind of scam and it puts a bounty on your head, but he claims that his life insurance and health insurance got canceled. Unk says things like he knows that his fans are minors, and even in the phone call admits that he knows this, and he's just ignorant to it, and he still continues to be, to this day, almost a month later after that phone call, saying that it's a joke. If you're aware of that, and you know it bothers your older fans, regardless if it didn't bother them before, and you weren't caught doing it, I don't see why you shouldn't stop. Like, similar to your arrest record, just because you were arrested for contempt of court 2 times doesn't mean you didn't commit any crime. Just like OJ wasn't found guilty, it doesn't mean that he didn't murder his fucking wife, so I don't understand your logic there, Unk.
I don't remember when I'm like that. I was too worried about my life. No, I do not got, what's it called, dude? When's the next peg a follower? No, I can't do that. I would do that, but dude, a lot of my followers are fucking young kids, dude, like 15, they're high schoolers. And I'm telling you, if you want to make it on social media, you have to somehow get their attention. Because, you know, when I first started TikTok, I was only doing recovery content. That's it. Like recovery-based videos, and I said, bro, I'm not getting nowhere, dude. I gained 10,000, but then I fucking hit a brick wall. I was like, bro, I know I'm funny as shit. I gotta switch it up. You gotta be able to do it all, dude. You gotta be able to go do it all. Did I get that? Bro, like, come on now, dude. You know how to get... How old are you guys that are asking for a house? Like, if I got the house, how old are you guys? I've never owned a house, but I know you have to first get a loan. You have to try and get a loan. You have to have at least 3.5% down. And TikTok don't pay you till the 15th of every month. I know, Uncle, everyone in the chat thinks you're fine. They want your veiny clit. A lot of my followers are fucking young kids. Bro, why do they say veiny? Bro, they say veiny D. Bro, veiny clitoris, dude. Bro, we should... No. I'll whip it out, but y'all ain't gonna see it. Watch, I'll whip it out right now. Look. It's out. She ain't even looking. She wasn't even paying attention. A lot of my followers are fucking She's seen it. She's seen it. And went limp. A lot of my followers are fucking young kids, dude. Like 15 between. They're high schoolers.
It shouldn't matter that your fans are the ones saying these things. You should not be repeating it back to them. These are people who apparently to you look up to you, and apparently to them also look up to you. You shouldn't repeat these things back out loud, just because they say it. Some people may perceive it the wrong way, which most people fucking do. So I think maybe, keep those jokes to a minimum. I say jokes in air quotes, by the way, because they aren't really that funny.
Well, this happened, y'all. We are fucking stuck out here, y'all. I am needing just 3 people not to hand it to me. Please, if you can, buy a Camel. I would greatly appreciate it.
So another comment that I saw was that someone said that they had helped Unc for the rim of his car, which I'm sure someone did. I'm sure someone gave that money. I wouldn't put it past them. There's no way you say that without actually having done it. I would imagine it's, pretty hard. And Unc says that no one helped him. In retrospect, the craziest thing to me is, why would you need a rim for a donut tire? It doesn't make any sense to me. And all I have to say about this whole car situation is, what the fuck, you piece of shit. You're using your fucking fans for money and lying to them? This just fucking confirms it for me. This just confirms it for, I think, everybody. You made it look like your car was broken the fuck down when all you needed was gas money. What a piece of shit. The craziest thing to come out of this was Unc's self-docs where he posted the invoice of the tires that he bought, which happened after he bought the rim. You would think that you would fucking buy the tires first before the rims. And what's even funnier is that Liquid Unc was spamming Unc's docs in his live stream, and Unc kept blabbering about it not being his address.
That's not my address no more, dude. You're so weird, dude. This dude is so dumb, and he thinks I don't know who he is.
It was.
What happened to S'mores? S'mores, she had worms all throughout her body. That's what it was. It was heartworms. Like those dogs we rescued, like they were severely sick. Even this one's still sick. Right there, look at her. She's still very sick, but she's like a trooper. She's still going. I don't know how she's going. Cause like her pee and poop don't smell like our regular dogs. They don't. Something's wrong with it. I don't know what it is.
Unc knows what S'mores died of, and that the other animals are sick, and has made no effort to try and treat them. This is the one time I would say that Unc should, sympathy bait or try and get money from people. That way he can actually take care of his pets, but at the same time, no one would ever donate. People have begun to realize that he's just letting them die and will not use the money for what he says he will use it for. However, Unc's comments recently have started glazing him, which is pretty unfortunate, but at the same time, they seem a little too glazy for them to be organic. At the same time that he's getting a lot of glaze, he's also getting equally as much hate, and most of the hate, some of it is undeserved, but a lot of it is pretty spot on, telling him that he needs to get clean, go to rehab, take care of his pets better, not yell at his wife and say weird things to her, or even sexualize himself and his wife, which he still continues to do. I mean, what normal fucking person says, yeah, I just busted at my wife, here's 50% off a Cameo, by the way. This clip is an important one to show off right now because it segues into the next big thing going on right now, and that is K who is pregnant. Of all the ways that Unk could have announced that Kay was pregnant, he did it through a bait video, which is kind of unsurprising and very in character for him. The video following this received a lot of backlash as he recorded himself dancing next to her hospital bed. Kay herself posted a video showing off her test confirming that she is pregnant. Given Unk's track record though, a lot of fans are really nervous about what's to come next. Unk resumed to normal posting, but he posted an older video which people thought was him currently, saying that he looked healthy, and now he's gone back to his regular posting and people are starting to see that that's not the case at all. He does not look healthy and he still looks the same. Something else worth noting too is that he hasn't used his leg braces in forever. I can't tell you the last time that I've seen him actually using his leg brace. Immediately after going back to his regularly scheduled posting, he posted the most sympathy baiting video I have seen him post ever. You're just gonna have to see it for yourself.
All I want to do is make people happy and lift people up and show them a better way of life than drugs and alcohol. I have almost 60 days clean and sober today. Almost 30 days without a fucking cigarette after 2 decades of smoke every day. I want y'all to know if anything ever happened to me, that y'all have saved my life in more ways than I could ever explain. That's on God. It's on God. No one is listening to me. I smell something weird in here, but no one's listening to me. My relationship's falling apart. Like, I haven't done nothing wrong when all I do is try to make people happy around me. That's it. I absolutely love my life. But I don't know why this is happening.
First of all, there's just pure crocodile tears in this video. Second, he says his relationship is falling apart, yet they're playing around and dancing while they have a new child on the way. And he says his house smells weird, which leads me to believe that this video is completely fake, because you would know if there was carbon monoxide poisoning because you'd be dead. And while I was doing this, he uploaded another video saying that God is the only person who's cared about him. Basically saying fuck you to everybody who's ever bought his cameo. He was saying that everybody commits sin, and using Jesus on the cross as an example that he suffered so that we don't have to, and why are we making him suffer even more? Which doesn't make sense to me. The truth is, Jesus died so all those before and after him can be free of sin, at least by the book. I'm not sure what megachurch you're buying into, but the Bible itself says, "For I delivered to you as of first importance what I also received, that Christ died for our sins in accordance with the scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the scriptures." 1 Corinthians 15:3-4. He died for us to be able to do hookers and blow.
For the last 3 months, God has been my only true friend. He hasn't talked down to me. He hasn't talked shit to me, hated on me like half of y'all have. God is truly a blessing in everyone's life, and they don't even fucking realize it because they're too busy doing sinful shit, dude. Too busy doing sinful shit. When he died on a cross for you, so you can fucking live. And this is how the world repays him, bro?
Unk says that he wants to change the world, which in all reality he has very low chances to. Unk uploads his daily life onto Instagram and sexualizes his wife and himself for minors. He begs people for money, he sympathy baits everyone, and on top of that, he hasn't changed himself at all. Maybe he is sober, but we'll never truly know, and he can never truly prove it to us. Change has to start with yourself. So Unk, if you made it this far into this video, which you never do, I hope you'll take my words of advice. Detox. Take some time off the internet. Go to rehab. Rehab is free for those who truly need it. I would stop uploading videos of you twerking, videos of your wife crying, or sympathy baiting, begging for cameos. I think that you should stop all of that, but at the same time, you're making yourself into a lolcow. I don't have to, and the people don't have to either. You're doing it to yourself. So with all that said, here are a couple clips that I think are deserved to be the cherry on top for this video.
Nowadays, you can't do it. I do want to say at one time, if someone would give me the pass, I would do a funny video. I wouldn't say it with the ER though. Cancel me and I would make it funny. But dude, because my brother-in-laws, they're black, dude. I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form. I got family that's black. Well, all of us are black. And
You know you a gangsta ass motherfucker, and I don't mean gangsta as in a sense as in gangbanger with the guns and all that. You know you gangster when they won't stop watching you. They won't stop.